for it, don't fall for it. He's trying to lure you back into captivity, enmity. He's appealing to your stomach. Wilbur didn't care. The food smelled appetizing. He took another step toward the pail. Pig, pig, said the Zuckerman in a kind voice and began walking slowly toward the barnyard, looking all about him innocently, as if he didn't know what a little white pig was following along behind him. He didn't know that a little white pig was following along behind him. You'll be sorry, called the goose. Wilbur didn't care. He kept walking toward the pail of slop. You'll miss your freedom, honked the goose, and our freedom was worth a barrel of slop. Wilbur didn't care. When Mr. Zuckerman reached the pig pen, he climbed over the fence and poured the slop into the trough. Then he pulled the loose board away from the fence so that there was a wide hole for Wilbur to walk through. Reconsider, cried the goose. Wilbur paid no attention. He stepped through the fence into his yard. He walked to the trough and took a long drink of slop, sucking in the milk hungrily and chewing the pop over. It was good to be home again. While Wilbur ate, Luby fetched a hammer and 8 penny nails and nailed the board in place. Then he and Mr. Zuckerman leaned lazily on the fence, and Mr. Zuckerman scratched Wilbur back with a stick. He's quite a pig, said Luby. Yes, he'll make a good pig, said Mr. Zuckerman. Wilbur heard the words of praise. He felt the warm milk inside his stomach. He felt the pleasant rubbing of the stick along his itchy back. He felt peaceful and happy and sleepy. This had been a tiring afternoon. It was still only about 4 o'clock, but Wilbur was ready for bed. I'm really too young to go out into the world alone, he thought as he lay down. Alright, so I'm going to stop. I'm asking you to think of something you found interesting, something you want to share. I need at least 4 people. If I don't get volunteers, then I'll call on people. DJ, we can't hear you all the way over there. Say that again? Yeah, the goose really helped him the whole time, right? Why do you think the goose is trying to help him so much? Yeah, he knows that he's watching him, he sees that he's not happy, right? And we're going to find out a little bit more reasons of why the goose is, as we read the chapter, a little bit more why he's helping. Thomas? And DJ, you can join us back in class, or DJ, you can join us back in class and finish. Thomas?
I feel like Wilbur acted a little, crazy, should have never went back into he's just going to feel like that.
So why did he go back to the barn? Okay, and what is slop really? What was slop? It's food, right? Maya?
So like, Wilbur is still a baby, like he's not going to know what to do.
So Maya, so you make a good point. He's just a baby. Could you really make it out there alone? No, he couldn't really make it alone. He didn't even know where the woods was. He could not make it, so he had to come back. Anybody else want to share? I need one more person before I call in volunteers. I call in people who are not going to be volunteers now.
How they always showing their help to go get freedom and to get the food?
Yeah, because that shows us what? How do the animals feel?
They want to leave.
They want to leave, even for food. They're like, hey, we just want to get away. I don't know if this helps, but I think as an adult, when I'm reading this, I always think, do I trade in freedom for the comforts of certain things? Like he was willing to give up his opportunity to be free for food, right? He gave up being free for food. And I try to think, is there anything like that in life in which we give up certain things just so we can eat or we can have certain things of comforts that we enjoy? I don't know, this might be too deep of a conversation, and it's okay. But can somebody think, you can think about maybe a smaller example you have, yes?
So like, say there's somebody that don't have enough money to get
Okay, so that's an example. Maybe I need to get food, so I've got to sell something else in order to get food. I think food is the biggest motivation. He's a baby, he needs food, he can't get food on his own, so you can kind of control people a bit with that idea of food. I know I talk about my dog, I've trained my dog and I use treats. How many have trained animals and you use food, right? It's a good way to get them to kind of do what you want them to do, unfortunately. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here. We're gonna pick up on chapter 4. If everybody can get their computers out, I want